We're in. We're live
That's
on Facebook. How many times have you gone live on Facebook?
Today, years old.
Zero times.
He was.
But
today.
you know, there's a first for everything, so it's exciting to be here with you two.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's
Thank
very
you.
nice.
It's the first time I've been flanked by you two.
Oh, you're in trouble now then.
So I know it's a many first going to happen today.
Many
I can
a
see
first.
that already.
So
Well,
what's going on?
Why don't you explain who Jay is to our audience?
Okay. All right. So, this is one of my favorite humans on the planet right here. This is Jay Mincks. He's the executive VP of Insperity. And if you don't know who Insperity is, look up Insperity.com. They are an amazing organization. It's one of my favorite companies. They're a worldwide company.
One of them?
They're my favorite. They're my
Just kidding.
favorite.
We're going to have the hyperbole. Let's keep it going. Let's don't stop. Let's don't stop with one of them.
This is my favorite company.
There you go.
The leaders at this company walk the walk, talk the talk. I love them. I especially love Jay.
Okay. That's enough.
That's not enough. And everything that I do, I drag Jay along for the journey. And Jay always,
I
for
think it's the
some
other way
weird
around, isn't
reason,
it? I think
he
it's the other way
supports me
around.
and he drags me along for journeys. And listen, you're super popular, but I've met other people more popular than you because of you.
Okay. That's cool.
Presidents.
That's what I do.
You know.
That's my goal in life. Okay,
He connects people.
better people than me.
No, not better. I just said
Okay.
a little more
All right.
popular. Just
All right.
presidents. It's the
Gotcha.
only people that can possibly be more popular than him.
That's true.
He is also a board member of Wheelchairs for Warriors, and he is here on Giving Tuesday. We've snatched a little bit of his time, and he's going to talk to you, if you are an individual or a corporation, on the importance of giving and supporting organizations, and especially Wheelchairs for Warriors.
Well, you know, the fact that I've taken these few minutes out of my busy schedule is very expensive for me. So I hope these folks give a whole lot to offset what I'm sacrificing here. But I, you know, as a board member of Wheelchairs, it's one of the greatest, I think, one of the greatest causes we can have and support because of the impact we have on individuals' lives. It's really, I think, and you've heard me say this on many occasions, it's really a shame that we have to have a separate organization that should be fulfilled, the role should be fulfilled with our government, who's asked so much of these soldiers already in terms of life and limb. And but thank goodness we're here, and with the energy, the energy you guys have, Crystal and Heidi here, to leave no stone unturned when it comes to securing the funds necessary to bless as many people as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I turn over a lot of stones.
Yes, you do. I have many nicknames, so Crystal, we'll keep them all to myself today. But I think to have the passion that they have is what communicates effectively. People pick up on that. People understand the passion of, we talked back years ago what you were passionate about. And this is a thing that came out, was doing the Wheelchairs for Warriors and taking care of our soldiers who are sometimes just forgotten, totally forgotten. It's unacceptable. And so the more generous people can be, I just want them to understand that this is a great cause. The money's going where it's supposed to go. It's helping soldiers get out and become independent again in as great a way as we possibly can. So, give. We support it corporately. I support it personally, and it's. I think it should be one of those charities that's on the top of your giving list all the time. And
Jay, I have a question for you because you just mentioned you give corporately through Insperity, and 2020 has been a hard year for everybody, both corporately, business-wise, and personally. What would you say to people who say, well, it's just been a really tough year, maybe next year?
Well, as a Christian, I believe that you have to sow to receive. And I've had this conversation with folks on Zoom calls when they ask me for my opinion. It's always risky when you ask my opinion because I'm going to give it. You trust me. But I believe the times when times are tough, is when we have to be able to say, I'm going to sacrificially give because I believe that, first of all, the cause is right. But secondarily, you have to believe that the giving opens up a channel of receiving. And I've seen this happen so many times in people's lives, in my life personally, that once you open your hand up, see, many times people want to they close their hand. I got my money. You can't get it out of there. And what happen is when they keep your hand closed, they can't receive anything.
That's right.
So if you open your hand up and give, then your hand is now open to receive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a faith situation. You got to believe. But I've seen it work. It's an absolute truism. It's a fact. It's an indisputable law, if you will, that you will receive in the way that you give.
Speaking of receiving and giving, our veterans wrote a blank check for us, for all of us, when they joined the military. And I really feel like it is our responsibility to write that blank check back to them. They served us. This is our way, a very, very small way to serve them. They are in a wheelchair. What if the only thing you wanted for Christmas was a wheelchair? That worked. I mean, it gets that bad that they have wheelchairs. The wheelchairs don't work. They can't get anybody to service them. They can't do what they want to do with their families. They can't get outside and play baseball with their kids. They can't go to the beach. Everything that we take for granted every single day. And even if they do have a wheelchair, they may need a secondary or third wheelchair to complete their life and to complete the life of their families. So service is what it's really all about. I have a heart for service. Heidi has a heart for service. Jay has a heart for service. And anyone who is in this organization has a heart to serve those who have served us.
It's quality of life. You think about these individuals. They're think about if you couldn't get from here to there, and your self-worth and your feeling about yourself, it doesn't go up.
No.
You don't feel better about yourself when you can't get from here to there.
That's right.
But you do feel better about yourself when you can, where you couldn't get from here to there, you now can. And so it's a way out for many people.
Now, Jay, you just touched on something that we have found is not really very peripheral to our core mission. It's actually quite central, and that is the psychology and the hopelessness that sometimes comes with confined mobility.
Yeah.
When these guys, men and women of action, they're confined to a chair, their families, as a result, are very restricted as well, and it does tend to add to that horrible number of 22 that you hear talked about a lot. 22 service members supposedly take their lives daily, and those in military circles think that number might be even higher. Yeah. And so when we're talking, we have launched today, in addition to Giving Tuesday, we've launched a new initiative called Touch22.
Wow.
And I thought Crystal could tell you a little bit about that and tell our audience as well.
Sure.
So Touch22, you can go to our website, wheelchairsforwarriors.org, and there is a button, and it says Touch22. And you can commit to $22 a day. Sorry, $22 a month. I wouldn't do that to you.
We'll take
a day,
that.
We'll take that too. But to $22 a month. And when you touch 22, when you join that campaign, you are literally putting your money in a veteran's life. You are making a positive deposit into maybe saving someone's life.
And what venue are we using to do that? How do we?
The website.
Well, I don't understand that, but who is it that's good at helping the actual veteran?
Whoever donates $22 a month, whoever does the Touch22. You can do it. I can do it.
Oh no, but where does the money go? Where does the money go?
Into our bank account.
I
don't understand the question.
You guys aren't psychologists, psychiatrists. So where?
No.
So where does the?
It goes to a wheelchair because what we found is that we found is that the psychology of just sitting in a house, not being able to get out. Our veterans have told us that they've been very close to being one of the 22 a day.
All right, so it's a way to address that particular issue.
Yes.
With the same
within
mission
our
that we have.
organization.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. That goes to the quality of life you were talking about. When we're able to enhance their mobility, it increases their quality of life. They're able to rejoin their life at a higher level of mobility, and that increases their hope. and it adds to
No,
their future.
We've had those folks in various times when we've given away a wheelchair, and to see the impact just in their own psyche at that moment
Right.
is pretty amazing. Trust me, if you go to the website, look at some of the things that we have there about when someone receives these wheelchairs and what happens to them. It's an immediate gratification. It's not like you go, okay, I'm going to donate, and then they build a wheelchair. Well, whatever. No, once that wheelchair is built and it's custom built and made for that person, then they get this. We get to hand it to them, and you get to see, immediately the impact.
The impact.
It's tangible and it's daily.
Right.
And
yes.
Listen, our veterans are so excited to get a wheelchair. It gives so much back. It's like when Jace.
This is a custom wheelchair. This is a wheelchair designed for them that meets the needs that they have, what they're suffering from, whatever injury they're suffering from.
Right.
It compensates for that in the highest way possible, as opposed to just a wheelchair you can rent down at the rental place.
We have a veteran. His name is Rob Harmon, Colonel Rob Harmon. Rob, we've been trying to give Rob a wheelchair since the inception of Wheelchairs for Warriors. And like all these other alpha males and alpha females out there, they think somebody else could use that wheelchair more than they could. And he just wouldn't let us. So he calls me one day and he goes, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll let you give me some wheels. And I said, you just some wheels? Are you sure you don't need a whole chair? No, I just need some wheels. Okay, fine. So we ordered some brand new, nice wheels for his wheelchair. The kind where you can put your thumb on the groove on the side and it helps you roll faster. Big fat tires for outside. He jumped up and down. Well, he didn't jump up. He was in the water. He was jumping up and down in the water. He didn't really jump up and down because he's almost completely paralyzed. And he was so excited. He was screaming and laughing and he was so joyous. And I looked at his wheelchair. The metal on his wheels was coming through.
Yeah.
That's how long he waited to allow us to help him. And then I looked at his wheelchair and it was crap. It was horrible. And I said, you know what? That's it. We're building you a wheelchair. I'm not even asking you anymore. So we just delivered his wheelchair to him in Conroe.
Caught him by surprise.
Surprised him because he wouldn't let us do it. So we surprised him with a brand new wheelchair. We got all of his measurements from his wife and his other wheelchair. And we did a big reveal and we surprised him at Pacific Yard House in Conroe. And all of his buddies came out and everybody came out to support him. And he came in and he was just howling. I could not believe it. Had never had a surprise party for himself. He had never had one for himself. It was glorious. It was amazing.
Next time you ladies start thinking about maybe you need to raise your compensation. You're having so much fun. Why would I have to pay you?
I know. We are having a lot of fun.
The board's not going to approve any more increases.
We get to go to surprise parties like that, and that will make your week, if not your whole month. And we did that the day after Veterans Day, and I remember posting something about it, and I said, this is how we roll on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Quite literally, this is how we roll. Because we don't just observe it and say, oh, thank you for your service.
Right.
This is a tangible daily impact that these chairs have, and they change lives. Mm-hmm. It's really fun to wrap your brain around.
And
so
Jay is
why
right.
should we, there's no remuneration.
No.
And Jay's right. We get to hang out with warriors, heroes, combat veterans all the time. It is our pleasure. It is my life's passion. And it is because of this guy right here, really, that we're doing it. Because he was my business mentor, and he said, all right, well, what part of your business do you want to focus on? And I was like, none of it. I kind of want to raise money for veterans. And he's like,
there you have
it. Go do that.
The rest is history.
That was a very expensive decision on my part, too. It came with some cost. But costs that are absolutely a joy to be able to say I was involved. So.
Thank you so much for being
Fantastic.
here today with us and letting us steal some of your very valuable time.
This is where I work, so
I know.
you guys came to me, and I appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
Keep up the good work, guys.
We will.
Very
we
proud
will.
of you. Very proud to be a part of this organization.
We're proud to have you.
Appreciate that.